So the other thing you want to do in your store is, let's go into settings. The customer email, you want to make sure that's not your personal email. You want to, if you have your own domain, then set up your own emails, stuff like that. Make sure your store address, all that stuff, the phone number is business information. If you want, just go to Google Voice, get a phone number. There's a bunch of different services out there that'll let you do that. So we'll save that. In payment providers, this is where you're going to set up your payment provider. So by default, Shopify uses Stripe, and they'll set you up an account and all that kind of stuff, but you have to complete the account setup. And in here, you'll give them your business information. Make sure that you consult with a lawyer or a tax attorney or CPA or whoever, a professional, in order to properly fill all this stuff out based on your business model and tax codes and all that kind of stuff. Okay, product details. Make sure you give Shopify the best case scenario for everything. You're going to select 0 to 10 for average order price, 0 to 6 days for average shipping time. Let's scroll down. This is what your statement descriptor is going to look like. That's fine. Just have it be your standard company name. Make sure you put your banking information in. That's where the money is going to go back into your bank account for when you make money. So make description of product or services. Really just keep this simple. Honestly, you could probably just do online retail, but if you want to get a little more descriptive, like I said, try to make it so Shopify has the least amount of questions about your store as possible. So that way they don't have any reason to delay your payments or anything like that. Perfect. Now, PayPal, it's really up to you if you use PayPal. However, there have been plenty of people, including myself, that have had PayPal hold funds, because what you have to do is you have to make sure, so they're going to set up a PayPal account to your business email. But if you're going to use PayPal, you actually have to include all of the tracking numbers in the PayPal transactions as well. So if you're not doing that, they're eventually going to flag you as you start selling more and more, and then they're going to freeze your money, and that's not fun. It can be a useful tool, however, if not used properly, it can be a very annoying tool. Okay, so it's up to you. I've used it both ways. Turning it off is not going to lose you sales, so don't worry about if you want to turn it off. Just go ahead and do that if that's what you want to do. All right. So then let's jump into checkout. We want to make sure we customize this a little bit. So we want accounts to be optional. Just if you want to build this out into something bigger, then we can have accounts and you can do more things. Primary contact method, we want them to give us their phone number and email every time. So we're not going to use the either option. We're going to use the must use email option. We're going to require first and last name, preferably for billing purposes. And we'll go ahead and choose this additional contact method. That way, if they want to get text messages and stuff as well, then they can do that. Company name, we're going to keep hidden. You can do optional if you want, but honestly, for me, it just kind of gets in the way, so I don't worry about that, especially since I'm not selling to companies primarily. Address line 2, optional. Shipping address, phone number required. So now they're required to do email and phone number. We'll leave all of those by default. And by default, we want the customer to agree to receive promotional emails. All right. After an order has been paid, you want to not automatically fulfill. You're going to be manually doing that through Overlow, so don't choose automatically. Go ahead and leave that checked. That way it saves your orders once they're fulfilled. And then you're going to let's go ahead and check, automatically send abandoned checkout emails. Basically, when someone starts the checkout process but doesn't finish it, then we want to go ahead and send them an email saying, hey, your cart's still here. And we can do that by default. Later in our retargeting course will show you how to do a little more advanced abandoned checkout stuff. All right, let's go ahead and generate the sample refund policy. This should suffice. Same with the privacy policy and down here with the terms of service. It should be good enough for your store, but make sure you read through them. Make sure it says what you want it to say. Again, that's a whole legal thing that you're going to want to get advice on. All right. Let's jump over to shipping. We want to make sure we're charging your customer shipping. That $3 or $4 or $5 or $7 or $8 for shipping, that actually may be the difference between a profitable and unprofitable product. So you're just going to hit edit next to domestic, and you're going to scroll down. We're going to get rid of the weight based. You don't want to deal with that. We're actually going to do price based. So we're going to hit add rate, and you're going to do standard shipping. Now I'm going to show you what I do. It's up to you if you want to do the same. So from 0 to right around $12 or $13, something right below your minimum order price that you usually do of $14.99. This is where you're going to make it a really cheap shipping rate, because if you make it expensive, people are going to see that, and people are going to think, wow, I'm paying as much in shipping as I am with the product itself. So I usually do I used to do $2.99 or something like that, but now what I've done is like $3.08 or something odd like that. It actually helps your conversion rate because people actually see that it looks more like a realistic shipping rate. So you're going to go ahead and use like $3.08, $5.13, $8.13, like you're going to use odd numbers in your shipping amount, so that way it looks a little more realistic and a little more custom to the person's actual delivery location. Okay, so like we'll do $5.13 here, add another rate. And this one's going to be your higher dollar one. That includes shipping. So 50 to 149.99. This one we'll do, let's do $8.03. All right. So now we've got a low, a middle, and a high cost, but we're not done yet. We actually want to add one more, and we're actually going to give free shipping to anything that's 150 or more. If they want to buy that much stuff from me, I'm okay with giving them free shipping. All right, so now you have your shipping set up and you're good to go. Save that. Okay, let's jump over here. We're gonna go over to notifications. The taxes part doesn't really matter. So order notifications, what you wanna do, because you're drop shipping, you want to tell people that it's gonna take longer than usual. So I usually use wording, something like this: due to the popularity of these deals, delivery should be expected in about 21 business days. So technically 21 business days is actually 3.5 weeks. So as long as you're ordering the product the day after, within 24 to 48 hours of your customer ordering it, then that should be fine. So we'll go ahead and save that. You can go in and customize some of these other things if you want, but I don't really bother. I do like to enable desktop notifications, because when I get sales and it pops up on my desktop, that's just very exhilarating. It's a morale booster. And so that's how you set up some of the back-end stuff in your settings for your store to make sure that everything, your conversion rates are higher, make sure that you're actually getting paid for the sales, and make sure that your customers are getting the information that they need to get. So we'll see you on the next video.